Hello everyone, my name is Lukasz Szymik. I'm software developer. I'm working in IT industry for several years. I have quite good traits. I'm very lazy, and you will spot it in my presentation. I don't like to talk with marketing. Actually, I like to talk with marketing, with product department, but not over Jira tickets, especially constantly change requests. We have a new idea, let's go back from the version from today's back. And I have 3 children. And I'm working at Emporix company, which is offering modern cloud commerce solutions, which are very scalable and very composable, everything on microservices. And company is, the Emporix commerce is very good choice if you want to innovate, if you want to adopt software to your needs, if you want to make experiments. And to do it, also we, development teams, we need to be very flexible, we need to innovate, we need to put a new solution into business life. If you want, you can navigate to emporix.com and create your own trial tenant and check out our services. But today I will mainly focus on low-code, no-code solution, on low-code, no-code platform we are building. Small disclaimer, part of the systems I'm presenting today is still under development, but as an agile process, some of building blocks are already released. Today, I would like to share with you how we start experiment, which is kind of startup in the startup, how we drive our architecture, reasoning behind why we took components A over component B, and how we plumb everything to have up and running solution, which is bringing low-code and no-code solution to our commerce system. We are a very international team. We have more than 50 team members spread across 9 locations. And we have people who love working with us all over the world. We have team in Swiss, in Poland, in Romania, in Madrid. What we have, starting point, what we already have as a standard core, we have microservices, more than 50 of them, everything running in kind of headless commerce solutions, deployed on Kubernetes on the Google Cloud Platform. We have, as typical commerce, a lot of dependencies, MongoDB, Google PubSub, Algolia, of course, all the payment providers, delivery systems for delivering our products. We have many customers from B2B market also and grocery commerce, which is kind of special, and company started more with grocery commerce before going. But to be successful on the market nowadays, we need to go deeper and we need to react faster to needs of our customers. And what customers really want to get, they want to have possibility to customize business processes in a very quick way. Yes, they want to change it all over time. Customers not always have IT department or developers who can support us and make development extend our commerce. Some tickets must be done by us, and of course we are doing it as a regular agile process, so they need to wait, and we have gap between it. And to innovate, to bring further such project for them, we start thinking about low-code, no-code solution. As I mentioned, I'm lazy guy, and I jump into this project and start working on this at the first phase as a prototype, because I'm lazy and I want to have this platform that I will reduce traffic over Jira to our development team with change requests. Yes, I want to push it. And as I mentioned, I have 3 children, and while COVID hit us, they have remote school, and every next week we have the same Scratch exercises to be done at homework. So I think that it will be cool to build such no-code, low-code platform, which will act a kind of Scratch for business people, yes? They will need to do Scratch and define business processes. A typical use case for such our low-code, no-code extension to our commerce is that let's imagine you are working with, you're running a shop, you're running a B2B commerce, and you have recurring customers, which is ordering 1,000 laptops, yes, with a certain amount of memory, with a dedicated CPU. And you want to have, as a business manager, a process which will very quickly check if you have enough stock to be delivered to the customers. If yes, okay, you have a good deal. If no, you need to take reaction. The system needs to take reaction. And there are options, yes? One option is that you can inform customers that we are running out of stock and we cannot deliver, and we will deliver in, I don't know, 3 weeks. But at the same time, automation can check possibilities and maybe offer discount to these customers with a message, hello, you are a recurring customer. Maybe you would like to get 1,000 laptops, but with 10% bigger CPU. You will not need to wait, and you are our good customers. We will give you a discount. You are paying the same, yes? And of course, such process in the backend need to check stock levels, need to react to it, maybe order some laptops from the suppliers, and typical back office use case for them. We, of course, have in standard commerce such use cases, but we want also that customers will be able to plug and play with it and do changes, also big changes in it, on its own, without bothering our development team or configuration team, which is maintaining tenants for us. And this is a reason why we go into this low-code, no-code solutions. Moreover, this market is growing, yes? It is no new buzzword in the world. People are going it. Big companies is offering, already low-code, no-code solutions. Frankly speaking, I have no idea where is a boundary between low-code and no-code. I found some sources that if 90% is, automation, no-code, this is no-code or low-code, but I don't care about the naming exactly. What is interesting, if you are developers, please do not worry that you will be replaced by automation or low-code, no platform in the future, because first time I heard about developers being unemployed in around 1986, when informing systems were popular. I'm still waiting to be unemployed, but okay. And as I said, that I joined this project because it was very interesting for me. And we currently run it in 2 phases. I will start with describing the first phase, what we already achieved and what is already available for us. So for the first step, we know that we need to do something with our data, because nowadays commerce is about selling stuff, but also we have a large amount of data and we can do something very useful with this data. So we took a Make. Make is very nice integration platform. It's formerly known as Integromat. This is iPaaS, so integration as a service, and it is offering possibility to execute business workflows. There are dozens of connectors. Last time I checked Make, it was more than 1,200 connectors for everything, for Google Sheets, for Microsoft Office, even for Discord. And you can, in the graphical way, integrate everything, create business processes, plumb them together and execute. You have possibility to control the flow. You have possibility to check what was executed, how it was executed. And for us, also very important things, the API can be, this UI frontend can be white labeled and integrated with our management dashboards. So we immediately started working on it. We create our own connectors to it. We publish these connectors, and this allows automation, consumption of our events, access to our APIs for modeling the flows, like the mentioned net flow with checking stock levels, some automation around promotion for recurring customers, and more. As we go into this platform, we start using it. We know that from the very beginning, we need to have standards. And obvious thing was that we will choose cloud events, because it is de facto standards. So if you are dealing with events, you need to follow cloud event specification. For us, it was very convenient because there are SDK for all major languages, and we start using it immediately. This is also part of our development experience, that we are focusing on well-known standards and trying to avoid, old homemade solutions around things like that. But the solution has some drawbacks for us. One of the drawbacks was that out-of-the-box insights, observability, and insight in history of execution was not everything what our stakeholders want to have in the systems. We need to have more control over history, what was executed, when, why. And second, very important things for us, Make is very good as for this cloud standard operation like stateless and short running, yes? You know, everything in cloud should be very stateless and milliseconds response time is okay. Make for a couple of seconds of execution is okay, but we want to have long running processes with a state. So first phase of a project was successful, but we go further and start thinking about what we can do next with the solution. So we start working on it together with my colleagues from London, very experienced enterprise architect who helped me with choosing some technologies. And after a short investigation of possibilities, we decided to go further with Uber Cadence. This is open source technology from the Uber. This is a fault-tolerant, stateful engine for running workflows, which has given us a lot of nice possibilities. It's allowed to building stateful workflows. It's provide us with horizontal scalability. It has very good out-of-the-box observability, and which can be observed. Out of the box, it's supporting Java and Go language. Community is adding support for Python and Ruby. By the way, majority of our services are developed using Java, mainly Spring Boot and Micronaut framework, but we also have microservices written in Go. What more can we do with Uber Cadence? Here's a screenshot from workflow. I will show it later because it's not very readable. But for us, open source project, this is plus for us, and very good development experience for me and for the rest of the company. Development experience is also very important because this is something what we can attract good developers to work with us. So we have very good documentation with Uber. We have a lot of examples. We have possibility to develop on the local machine because Docker Compose is provided, and it's really one command to start it on my local machine and develop with it. So we have very good experience with starting the project, making first investigations. And characteristic of what we need to deploy into Uber Cadence to work, we are starting Workers. Workers is just an application. This is even not microservice, it's just application. It may be written in Java or Go. And we are starting it. At the beginning of execution, we are just having a connection to Uber Cadence. Uber Cadence is receiving such application which is developed as a workflow. And inside this workflow, we have implementation as a regular method for activities. Activities is a single operation which is executed inside this workflow. And it is important, it is abstraction over activities like calling database, calling external system, even checking time from timers, applying some schedulers into our code. Everything is built around activities. And Uber Cadence is monitoring it and storing the state of the execution. So even if our worker crash, a state of activities, what was inserted into activities and returned from activities, is kind of logged into Cassandra DB. So if in the middle of execution my worker will die, which happens sometimes with Node or something else, Cadence will load it into memory again, apply state from the Cassandra, and start execution again. So we have resiliency out of the box, and we don't need to worry about handling some error cases because we know that even long-running workers will be executed after a crash to the end, and business process will be not affected. The same story as Uber is recommending it even for, they are using it for workflows which are running for 30 days. So each new customers registering to Uber is getting a coupon, a voucher after 30 days, yes? Everything is modeled also as a worker. Of course, this worker is not consuming memory because it's offloaded, kind of offloaded to Cassandra DB and bring back into execution if a time scheduler say that it is time to be resumed. And as we plumped it into our systems, we start thinking about how to do it in a convenient way that some workers can be created even by our customers, which are not technical guys. And we find out that we can model a DSL. It is simple JSON, which can express business flow. It is consisted of one or multiple steps. Each step has entry point. And we can model branches, we can execute some steps in parallel, we can execute some steps in a sequence, plus we have possibility to control the flow, yes? So we have very basic syntax that if some response from one step is, I don't know, true, do something, otherwise do something else. And if we create this DSL, it was developed, designed together with guys from front-end team, because from the beginning we know that we need to do some UI over it to allow our customers not to build DSL using some kind of text application, but they will model it in a graphical way using our web page. And if you already have this DSL, which is describing the process, business process, we start thinking about how we can create a worker. So we develop a simple, very simple code generator. And at this time, I was working on this project. I think that for me, natural was that majority of the people, developers, are Java-based, but we start thinking about scaling of it and resource consumption because cloud is not cheap. So at this time, we decided that we will go into Go language, mainly because optimization of resource utilization of the cloud, but also, frankly speaking, Java is very verbose. And if we are developing code generator, we don't want to generate too much code because it will be overhead in the first phase of a project. So natural decision what everything will be done using Go language. And so far, we have very good result after migration to it. So the last missing part was possibility to plumb everything and communicate back and forth. So we have communication. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, that these steps described as steps in our DSL, it's nothing more than just call to this make platform, which is executing for us business steps. So we combine two things. We combine this Uber Cadence, which is building for us this high-level business orchestration, and underneath we are consuming what we deliver to customers with make. So make is kind of a simple step, and Cadence process is executing orchestration over several make steps. Everything is generated from the code. I can show you how result of generation looks like with a simple case. And hook deck. Final missing piece for us, as I mentioned, we start using cloud events, but we need to have some efficient transpose to deliver these events to our system and deliver events back to someone who call us, or even between our system to make system. So we find out a good startup, HookDeck company, which is offering a service for delivering webhooks. This is kind of incoming webhooks. So they are, actually for me, it's just messaging system, yes? It is kind of messaging system. So we are calling REST API, but underneath this event which I sent over HTTP is delivered for me as I will be using Kafka or something similar, yes? If my event will not be delivered, they will retry it. If something will be not delivered for longer period of time, it will be parked in the dev queue letters. And moreover, I have possibility to model all the connection. So it was also used for ensuring that we have tenant separation. Because each of this connection modeled in HookDeck can be provided with their own security, can enrich event which will be sent. For instance, we are adding additional headers with tenant information, with end user information, and we have control and possibility of filtering messages, so it is protecting our system. So if we are getting some random events, and in cloud it may happen in commerce that some integration points are sending too many events, we can just filter out using HookDeck and not our system. What is also very cool regarding HookDeck company, this company, as I was starting this project, they were, I don't know, 9 or 10 people all together. I have Slack with developers, and quite often I have a question, I am reporting small bug, yes, like, hey, guys, you are sending me wrong format of a response, and they are telling to me, okay, thanks for letting me know, I will implement immediately the fix, yes? And usually after a couple of hours, I have fix on production, yes? So this is very proactive. It is good company regarding, experience for customers. For sure, if they will grow, and I believe they will grow, probably they will have us, bigger company, support, and I will get a priority for my tickets. But until now, I have very fast response, and they are helping me a lot with the project. I took a diagram and from one of our demo. As I mentioned, I'm lazy, so it is, I didn't create for the conference anyone, but it is just reflecting what we achieved in the POC. Because still, yes, POC. We already know that we will be productizing it, but still kind of POC. So I developed a couple of items. Everything is, maybe I will not go step by steps on each blocks, but I will mention deployment schema, what we already achieved. This is demo version when I also used bare metal, so I want to showcase to company that not only cloud, but also I can run part of the system on my local machine. HookDeck, by the way, is supporting development of local machine because I can redirect cloud events directly to my machine. They create a tunnel for me. And so I start using Uber Cadence on my local machine. I develop a couple of items in Google Cloud platform. I'm deploying it in the first phase of the project, Google Cloud Run. I don't need anything more, yes? I know I can use pure lambdas or pure functions, but for me, I already have Docker with my microservices, so I just pushing Docker microservices and it's running. I start some make instances on AWS, and some part of the system is externalized to the Kubernetes. The heart of the system is this code generator. It is also application developed in Go, using Go templates. I don't need to have something very fancy at the first stage of project. I know that if we will have more customers, we will need to rewrite it to something very powerful, but for now it is enough for us. Summary and what we learn from it and where we are with it. Part is already released and we have good adoption from customers. They are already happy they can do more integration with our commerce. We have partners who are very interested in running this project further with us. We are confident that we are going into good direction with this approach with adding low-code, no-code. And frankly speaking, we know there's a lot of work ahead of us. So if you want to check what we have, if you have any question, you want to use our create our tenant, demo tenant, and use it, emporix.com, you will find registration link there. Maybe very quickly look at the code. This is Go code. Please don't make a review now of this code. This is code which is generated, yes? So I did it very simple. It's as simple as possible, but this is generating nothing more like 2 files, main.go with connection to Uber and registration of the 2 scenarios. And I have a file activities.go, which is implementing activities. So particular calls to execute integration in Make. And plus, not visible here, I have very small library, which is nothing more like kind of visitor, which is going over this DSL format and making decision. If step A was executed, please execute step B because it is next in the sequence, or execute A and B in parallel. So this is everything. Thank you very much. If you have any question, I'm here. You can ask me now. You can catch me later, discuss with me.
Will you join us for the after-party solutions?
I need to return to home, but I will be for a couple of minutes. I will be there, but okay. I need before
because
7. I need to go.
The team is already preparing some great glasses of beer, so you know.
Okay.
Just to make the decision even harder.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions? Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay, so I have basically 2 questions. First of them is your support. Are you expecting that clients that are using your platform will configure workflows by themselves, or will they ask
Can you
you?
repeat?
Yeah, it's a challenge with this mic. So maybe you can come here, listen to the question, and then come back. We'll answer, okay? In person. The only thing you do, don't talk in here to the mic because you have to come back. Sorry for that.
So are you expecting that clients that are using your platform will configure workflows by themselves, or they will ask you to configure these workflows? And if you are expecting that they will configure themselves, so what skill set will require from the workers? Because you are proposing low code solution, so this means that they will have no developers.
Okay. Okay, very good question.
Please come back. So please repeat again the
yes,
question, and
sure.
then thank you.
Thank you very much. Very good question. Yes, the question was. I will just summarize very quickly. If we are expecting that our customers, which are not developers, will create these flows by their own, and what will be a skill set for them to do it? Actually, very good question, and at the same time feedback, because I should highlight it more in my presentation. My goal here is, I mentioned on the beginning, I'm lazy. By this, I mean I don't want to react to customer changes that please change for me a single flow, yes, something very trivial. I want that end customers, real business operator, someone who is running commerce shop as one of our tenants, will model this flow in the back office. So we will give them a possibility to drag and drop, like Scratch, particular steps. For instance, there will be a banner with the steps, for instance, check the stock level, drag and drop, and this will be step A. If stock level is, and now what skill set they need? They need to just understand basic steps execution. Like that, if you are checking stock level, the output will be kind of data with name of a product and stock level. So what they need to do is put a threshold. Yes? If stock level more than 1,000, do B. If stock level lower than 1,000, make step B. Step B and C will be also drag and drop as a UI object.
Does this answer the question, more or less? Okay. It's always tricky to answer the question with this group of people, big group of people. Any other question? The last one. We still have a minute, so we can have the last one.
Yes?
Sorry? So maybe you can, guys, go out if you have a minute.
There is also a question.
And I'll take another one from. Okay, there's another one. Sorry, I have to limit the number of questions from one person. I've promised not to run again, but still.
I saw that the generated code was at least 1.18 compatible because you are using any, so there were generics. Did you notice any, I don't know, performance degradation or anything like that?
The code, which version?
Yeah. The code that you generated, the Go code, was at least 1.18 compatible because it was using any.
19.
It was even it was even 19, yes, but it was using generics.
It was generated, yes.
Yeah, and did you notice any performance degradation or anything like that?
Actually, this code is very simple. Okay, the question is if performance was degraded with this version. I don't know yet because it is part of a code which is running inside the Uber. So it is hard to predict. I don't have yet full test from the cloud version of Uber Cadence, and we need to measure it as a whole in the environment of a cloud and Uber Cadence. I generated this code because I installed this on my machine where I have version 19 deployed. For production, I can select it. This is so simple that I can choose any Go version. Of course, not very ancient, but we can start it. And performance is a very good question. Also, you can ask why we are using hook deck if this performance will be okay for us. My goal also is to kill this performance. Because I have multiple hats in my company, and also killing such systems is revealing us a lot of information, yes? Because I'm working mostly in the startup, so for me, if I kill the startup, I know that probably we need to mitigate risk, and if I not kill the performance of a company which we are observing, it is a good company to invest into.